Just as I turned this on, a crow went cawing past me. It was very impressive. I thought it was like a symbol of Trump, in a way. A black crow. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Something else. Okay, so I don't imagine it's possible, but I feel like I'm in a parallel universe, because today the temperature is 53 right now. And I'm overdressed wearing a jacket, I think. It's gorgeous out. And it's got that, I always think of the Tuscany sun, kind of a yellowish sun at the end of the day. And if you hear a little bit of happiness in my voice at our Supreme Court, it's because after 6 years, I think it is, the Supreme Court has decided that Congress is entitled to Trump's tax forms, and instead of allowing it to delay into the next Congress, they decided it today, about an hour or so ago. And that's right now it's about 4 p.m.ish, even though I'll post it later than that, because things get in the way, like my real job, writing stuff. And I have papers due today, but absolutely by tomorrow. So I'm scribbling. The weather suggests a pause before Thanksgiving, which is nice. Now, let's go back a little bit to the tax returns. Trump, when running the first time for president, said, when they got rid of the audit and so forth, he'd make the tax returns available. So what's that, 2016? And now, 2022. So it's only 6 years. And it does seem that if you're heftier and powerful and unscrupulous, and you've done something wrong, and you have people beholden or afraid of you, things happen to your favor. So Trump is responsible for the death of the expression that no man is above the law. And the question is, will we ever return to that? In fact, as opposed to a statement, sort of like thoughts and prayers, I feel for you. All these empty words that people speak that have no correspondence to action. So let's see if Congress bobbles the ball on the tax returns. We never got anything out of New York on the tax returns, and there's a trial going on. I don't know if any of those returns found their way into the record in that case. So that's really something. The next thing that's on my mind is the hero of Colorado, a man, Piero, who is former military, a veteran, served in theaters of war while in the service, was at that club, the Q Club in Colorado, when the gunman opened fire, wounding, I think, 2 members of his family, killing 5 others, 18 are injured. And what Piero did was, instead of running away, it's sort of like the firemen, other sensible people run from the building, and firemen run into the building, put out the fire, save the people who were there. That's what Piero was. He charged this guy, and although a big man himself, 300 pounds, apparently this other guy was bigger, and he had armor on, and so he was hard to get at. And what Piero did was defend himself against the handgun and the assault rifle that the assailant had, and he kept finding skin where he could hit him, and he had thrown him down, but it would be very dangerous if the guy could get up and turn on him. And a couple of people at the club did help him, but he ended this scourge from killing more people, and he's in custody, and we don't know the motive, but it does appear to be discriminatory against those people who are LGBTQ. And I talked about that yesterday, so I won't talk about that again. But are we going to move and do something about it? I don't know. I really don't know. Going on to Musk, the emperor of Twitter. Apparently he's let Marjorie Greene back on. So he intends to honor the First Amendment and a private social media organization to the nth degree, and take his side by those who would lie to America. I don't know what the community standards are for Musk, but they seem to be very, very flexible, don't you think? But the fun news for 60s kids is, we're always a kid in our hearts, is that Oregon has pardoned 45,000 people who have been convicted of possession of pot. When I was in law school, some people who knew I was interested in politics said I should go to Oregon because Oregon had liberal principles and I seemed to be cast best in that kind of a framework. And I was just taken by New York and didn't leave there until my mid-30s. So, but Oregon has had some pretty sensational policies in the past. They have a death with dignity bill that I ran into when I was doing a case with another lawyer from Oregon who was responsible in part for the death with dignity bill. Of course, you have to be really at the door of death in order to choose that exit. So even good things sort of get thinned out. But the governor of the state has pardoned people of pot, and the fines and so forth that run with it, they're all forgiven. So in other words, in order to take advantage of this, you don't have to pay the fines first, and then you're free of the taint of whatever pot charge that they made against you. The feeling I have in this holiday season is that America is drifting, and it's understandable. We've had an election. We have one Senate race left. We have a Congress that has to agree on how we keep our financial house in order, which is always a problem. And we have a reorganization more on the House side than the Senate side, because it looks like the Democrats will continue marginally to control the Senate. So it'll be about the way it was. And it looks like the leadership, well, in the Senate, it looks like the leadership will probably remain the same. McConnell, I'm not so sure of McCarthy. And the Democrats have taken on a whole new look with a young team of leaders that I think can make a difference if they do something. The complaint by affiliated members of this group that Nancy should have done this or that. Well, now the question is, once you're in power, will you decide to do some of these things that you thought should have been done before? Now, I'm not putting down Nancy. This is a problem and the promise and the opportunity. Whenever you change leadership, what will they do? So, as we approach the day of the big bird, and I really think it's kind of a foul custom to pardon two birds when you're killing thousands upon thousands across the country. It just, I don't understand what that is. It's like a political thing. I want credit for pardoning these two birds while all the others are killed. And I'm not attacking you carnivores out there. I'm just saying that the politics of it don't make any sense to me. But we live in a funny world in the sense that it seems some of our most important decisions are emotional and don't make sense. I mean, even emotionally. They're contradictions of what's sensible. So maybe that's what this season's all about. A sifting around of who we are and what we're going to do next. And hopefully Jack Smith is going to hit the field running and prove himself to be stronger than Mueller, and to do something about the corruption in the Republican Party headed by that orange menace, Trump. So here we are in our cathedral of trees, beautiful in this 53-degree weather. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.